control of that vehicle and you can see way ahead of you before you approach is at hazard, then yes. Don't trust those around you to make a good decision. Give yourself and drivers around you plenty of time and space. This means keeping a 3-second gap when following another vehicle. Remember, we always talk about tailgating vehicles. Once you tailgate a vehicle, you're so close to that vehicle that if anything in front of that vehicle and that other vehicle have to stop suddenly, you're going straight into the person rear. And there's where the accident happens. Once you keep that length between you and the other driver, and the person have to stop for some reason, you have enough time to brake. As this will remove the opportunity for ample time and space to react to any sudden changes, as I said, making it more likely to endanger yourself and those around you. So once you keep that 3-second gap between you and the vehicle in front of you, you'll be safe. But if you're going to go close up on that vehicle that is in front of you, and the person stops for any reason, you don't know, maybe the person see a hazard in front of them, and they have to stop. You're right upon the person, you can pull off or stop within certain time. Many collisions can be avoided. For example, imagine the situation where another vehicle has run into the rear of your car, as I said. It is likely this could have been avoided had you left more space, as I said, between you and the driver. This type of defensive driving technique may have given you the option to move forward or pull out of the way entirely, avoiding the speeding car. So, you're coming up and somebody is driving and you're right on the person. As I said, the person stopped for any reason. You collide into the person. As it said, if a speeding car is coming, you have ample time to move out of that vehicle way. It is also important to help drivers to be aware of your intention. Yes, by signaling early and clearly and minimize lane changes if it is safe to do so. Yes, most of us nowadays, especially the young persons who just get their license, they think that signaling is nothing. When you're going for your license, yes, you have to use your hand signal. And as soon as you get that paper in your hand for you to go to Inland Revenue to say you successfully passed that road test, all of that is out of the window. You don't want to signal, you don't want to use your hands, you don't want to use the indicators, and you don't want to use the hand signal. And by using these, you could alert the other driver of your intention. If you're pulling over on this side to stop, and you put on your flashes or you put on the left indicator to say you're pulling over, at least the person behind you will know what you intend of doing. Or if you're going to turn into another road, the person will know. So at least the person will have ample time to know, okay, this person going to stop. Let me just pull out if nothing is coming. But if you're going to stop abrupt, sometimes people stop abrupt, yes, and people run into the rear. They're going to say, oh, the person didn't have a signal to say they're stopping, but you should have seen that. You should not have been too close on to that person. Whether the person signal yes or no.
Got you. Before you continue, do we teach defensive driving here in the Federation?
No.
Is that something in consideration? Are you guys thinking about it based on the number of accidents we have been seeing in recent times?
We do not teach it, but I don't know if the examining officer, because I know that is what they will tell the student, how to drive and what to do and what's not. So that's part of learning when once you're doing your training.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's not made
mandatory.
Yeah. Is it blatant? Is it like I'm showing you this because this is a part of defensive driving, or they just share it willy nilly? You
mean the instructors?
Yeah.
I can't say, but I know these are things they will tell the students. So this is part of the learning process.
Okay.
And this is part of defensive driving, because once you go for your license, they're going to tell you, okay, you're driving, make sure you stay here and here between, and then make sure you use the hand signal and these sort of things. They might tell you it's defensive driving. But for me bringing it out now, at least they will know this is defensive driving when they're going with the instructor.
Hold that thought. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're live.
Good morning, Mr. Liebert. Good morning to you, Sergeant Henry.
Good morning.
Sergeant Henry, you have a big responsibility and stepping up to the plate of what has been done before that others have recognized you for. Admire you for your good work. However, it's a lot, and keep doing what you do. Don't stop. Mr. Liebert, I thank you for your observation for asking about teaching defensive driving. I like that. Sergeant Henry, is there an inspector of traffic? Who might be that inspector of traffic? Don't answer now. Just try to maintain what I asked you that in particular, and you can respond. And the reason being I asked her because I have seen the most active department of the St. Christopher Neighbors Police Force, except CID, is the traffic department with minimal staff, skeleton staff, small, too small. But I am certain the Commissioner of Police recognized that, but he's not going to make a recommendation. You all have the responsibility seeing what it is taking place and more work than the staff overload. I expect you all to think that he would believe you all should at least write and ask that there be a police deployed to that department because you all need help. You all do need help. On Sunday, the 11th of August this year, 2024, along the Southeast Peninsula Road, there were a traffic accident. I had recognized something taking place in the Southeast Peninsula because on the way up Timothy Hill, an ambulance was coming down. There were no siren, nothing, but I think, okay, maybe somebody drowned and ambulance couldn't pick them up, or it's a traffic accident and the person not seriously ill, so there were no siren. On the way down across the pond, just after the Pavilion, that is a restaurant you may not be familiar with, I see a lot of bikes in the road, motorbikes. But as I drove closer to where the motorbikes were in the road, I recognized a police officer standing on the side of the road up the pond, which taking statement I saw him with a small little book that a police officer usually walk with in his pocket, a notebook. And there were no police car, no police pickup at all. My observation is, how could it be? One police officer, that's one. Two, have a book in his hand making a note of what he may have come in investigating. And standing on the side of the road, facing the direction I was going into the peninsula. Almost to a curve, a car came around the curve and stopped abrupt. He was looking that direction. He saw the car stop. The people in the car changed seats. So who was driving came out, went over, sit in the passenger seat, and the passenger who was in the passenger seat came over, sat in the chauffeur seat. Now, that is clear observation. Something may have happened. A, that person don't have a license. B, that person having insurance, all those things. But I looked in my rearview mirror and I said to the passenger who was in my company, look at this. He asked what? I said, just look at it. When I finish, I'll tell you. The drive away. I slowed down and the police didn't stop the car at all. But he recognized the car stopped because he was facing the direction the car was coming from. On a curve, he must have seen it stop. It stopped. And he didn't at all do anything based on if he did recognize what I observed. These are the kind of things I believe that are not being done effectively to eliminate a lot of things that takes place in the street. Inspector Phipps have said earlier in the year they were paint are being ordered and imported, yet should be here. But apparently he may have missed the destination or the shipment A must gone up or they can't be paid for. The streets need painting. The lines need to be put back in the streets. The lines in the streets at night is what helps people to navigate the width of the road and the lane they're driving. Sergeant Henry, I see so many things that, of course, I could go on and on. But today, I'm going to leave it right there. However, I would hope my question are answered about the inspector of traffic. I don't see, I don't hear. I don't know if there is. And the painting on the road is ongoing. Something needs to be done. Sergeant Henry, as I said earlier, You've been doing all good things. And I really hear you this morning and pronounce you remember what the mission statement is. You're giving people heads up, ideas, and significant tips for them to know what needs to be done. And Mr. Libert, thank you for your observation about the defensive driving you acts up. Have a good day and do take care. Goodbye.
You too, my friend. You take care.
Thank you, Carlo.
Before you respond to his questions, let's take this call. Good morning. You're live.
Hello, JQ. Good morning to you and Sergeant Henry.
Hey, good morning, Sonny Boy.
I was here you talking about defensive driving. In New York State, when you get sentenced or for punishment, you have to take a course in defensive driving before you can get your license violation taken care of. So they don't teach it up front, but that's part of the punishment in New York. So I'm enjoying the show from New York, and have a good time, you guys in the Federation, Sergeant Henry and GQ.
Thank you, Carlo.
Yeah, thank you for thank you for your observation and sharing, Sonny Boy. Sergeant Henry, I'll let you respond.
The caller before this one asked about Inspector of Traffic. Yes, there's an Inspector of Traffic, and his name is Delroy Harris. You will see him frequently on the road with the officers doing VCP. Up to last week, Friday, he was there. So he is very active. The one with the Peninsula and the officer, I can't say what the officer saw because I am not in the officer's mind. Yes, you might see what you said you saw with the person exchange seat. But I won't be able to say if the officer saw that. Because we can't say what other persons see. So, if it's that how it happened, well, as you said, maybe the person who was driving didn't have a license for the exchange seats, but I can't say if the officer saw it. I can't say if you see it. So, I'll have to leave that. With the painting, yes, we are doing our painting. Right now, I know the painter is doing the crosswalks for these schools. Yes, I know we talk about the lines, but remember, school is going to reopen, and he's doing the painting by the schools right now with the crosswalks. And also the speed bumps are being put in place. Because right now, they reach by Wrigley Avenue by Dr. William Connor Primary School.
Okay, great. A question is coming in for you, Sergeant Henry. This person would like to know when driving written tests are conducted.
When? Well, it's from Monday to Friday. Oh, the written test, sorry. The written test is every Saturday, if every first and fourth Saturday, 5 Saturdays in the month. Every last Saturday, we do not have it. And for Seventh-day Adventists, is the first Wednesday and the last Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
So, every Saturday except the last Saturday in each month, for regular persons, and Sabbath, we have the first Wednesday and the last Wednesday of each month. And it's from 9 o'clock.
Thank you for sharing that. Our topic this morning is defensive driving. As it relates to the topic, Sergeant, what are some of the most common traffic violations that you are seeing? You made mention of rear end accidents. Are there any more that using defensive driving could help avoid?
Wearing seatbelt. That is part. And keeping within the speed limit. As I said, if you have excess speed in when time to brake, it is hard. So when you don't have full control of that, so seatbelt, speed limit, and the distance between each vehicle. Yes, because sometimes people stop suddenly, as I said, and the person will say, "Oh, I didn't see." Or sometimes you get distracted driving, right? You're reversing, yes, but then you're still not paying attention, and you collide somebody's vehicle.
Get a wild thought or something. As you mentioned, rear end. Individual is practicing safe defensive driving, doing what he or she has to do, but the individual behind is not In the case that's who's wrong, the person in front or the person in the back?
If the person behind is not, you say not doing what they're supposed to do,
Yeah, and they rear
and they collide to the person, they're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just make sure we get that. Just I'm just asking. Just
Yes,
asking.
I didn't
Just
say
asking.
anything.
Just asking. 465-2555. That's 2555. We are discussing defensive driving. However, though, if there's another concern that you like to address to the officer, you can. Good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning. Good
morning.
program. Yeah, I was in the same street up the village. We part the ladies fair, and I was wondering how they dig up part half of the road. Cause they had cans candlelight nearby Tony Berry. And I was wondering how they could dig up this here. But me didn't know about that. But some of the drivers, they drive so speed, they see us on the crossing thing standing up, and they just watching us. I wonder if I how they get their license. And when the ambulance, them come in and fire truck, then they still driving still, and they say, slow down. Because as the traffic thing say, give way to the ambulance and the fire truck. But they ain't giving away for them. A good program.
Thank you, Carla. Yes, as you said, they dig up one part of the road is so wide that they do half, and then the concrete have to cure. So when they cure, then they do the other piece that people could run on. Yes, so that's how they have to do it.
Okay. First is shutting down the whole road.
Yes.
Okay. All right. 465-2555 and 718-577-2916. Once again, we are discussing defensive driving. However, if you have any other concern as it relates to traffic that you would like to address to the officer, you can do so now. Over to you, Sergeant Henry.
5 characteristics of a good defensive driver, as I said earlier. 1, always wear your seat belt. 2, keep within the advisory speed limit. 3, constantly scan the road for potential hazard. 5, signal your intention at all times. And 5, road courtesy. Road courtesy is something that we are lacking here. We do not show road courtesy to other road users. And that is very bad.
So on that note, how should someone handle road rage?
Road rage. How?
Yeah,
You mean somebody is doing road rage and you're the other person. You let the person continue. Don't get in nothing with them. You leave them go on the journey and then you go.
Don't get confrontational.
No, because you don't know what will happen. You'll be the calm, cool person. And let the person continue what they're doing, and after, then you just move on. Never get contention with persons. Because you don't know how you're going to end up.
Right. You don't know what's in the person's mind, what they're planning to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So avoid that. I thought you were going to say call the police and report the number. I thought you were going to say that too. But that you can do that
Yes.
as well. Okay.
But, somebody will want to go over towards the person. No, you always keep your cool. Because sometimes when you're keeping your cool, the person will just simmer down. Sometimes people just want to hype up and for you to hype up. You just keep your cool and you see they come right back down to normal.
Got you.
Yes.
Got you. All right. Continue.
Think safety first. Road safety should be every motorist's concern. Unfortunately, there are some who do not consider it a priority. So you see road safety. Safety first, speed next. Slow down. It is not going anywhere. Drive to survive. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a fool. Respect the traffic rules. Always respect the traffic rules. I know some person will say, oh, the speed limit is too slow for me. There's a reason why it is there. Oh, I do not want to drive with my seat belt. There's a reason why this law was made. So just go within the traffic rule, obey the traffic rules. There are reasons why they were placed there. Because if a country do not have rules, what do you think going to happen?
Yep. I don't think I have to answer. That's a what you call
Rhetorical question?
rhetorical.
Yes.
Well, that's like you're waiting for me to answer.
No.
I know everyone
No.
knows that one, right?
Yes. If you don't have rules, you know what will happen. And you have rules and things still happening.
Right. Yes. We have just about 5 more minutes left inside the program before we wrap up today. Sergeant Henry, if we don't get any more calls, I believe we can call it a show for today. And thank you for being here. And thank for those of you who are watching and listening. We appreciate your support each week as it relates to traffic offenses, and concerns that the officer addresses each and every week here on the show. Sergeant Henry?
Remember, you and the other road users around you are only human, and humans make mistakes. A defensive driver does not just concentrate on his or her own action, but anticipate the likely action of other road users. You must always anticipate the likely of other road users. You don't know what they're going to do, just anticipate. And as I said, don't get in confrontation with persons when they are being road hogs. Always stay calm, cool, and collective.
Thank you once again, Sergeant Henry. Stay tuned. On 9 o'clock report is up next. Compliments to Grange.
Attention all drivers.